I just tried to do a video and then I got a call in, so I'm trying again to talk about suicide since I spoke in the morning about masturbation and feeling sexual and about sexual addiction. So, yeah, I'm talking about taboos, and seriously, I like talking about it because if I would have had someone in my life who would have spoken to me about certain things, it would have made many things much easier. And I know I'm half German, I'm half Sri Lankan. My mom is Sri Lankan, my dad is German. Yeah, I'm born in Germany, I'm brought up there. But then I think the time which was important for me, growing up, exploring life, that was in Asia. So it really gave me a huge impact on how I grew up, how it affected my life, how I'm dealing with life, and what I had to heal for myself, and how I'm able to help so many other people, which I want. So I'm grateful for the experience. I don't want to experience it anymore, but now I'm able to talk about it. So I want to talk about suicide. Have you ever noticed that if a family member in the family died because that person did suicide, did kill himself, that people don't talk about it? Have you ever noticed that it's like a taboo, like don't talk about it, um, because it might bring shame to the family? Why would it bring shame to the family? Who does actually say it's a shame that someone died and tried to kill himself? There must be a reason for it, right? It's like you eat when you're hungry, you drink when you're thirsty, you go to the washroom and pee when you have to pee, right? So there's certain things which are natural. So I'm not saying to do suicide is natural, I'm saying it's that so many are doing it, it's almost on a regular basis. Have you known that so many people in Sri Lanka and Asia are doing suicide in families because they're unhappy? They're supposed to get married to someone, they're supposed to work in a field which they don't like, they don't love. So I mean, why do we have to live a life which doesn't make us happy? It's like there's some unspoken vows, contracts, that we are behaving in a certain way just to be loved by other people. Not even other people, just to be loved by our own family members. I mean, back in our own family members. I mean, back in the days, if you would have decided to marry someone because of love, they would have said, hey, you know what? You would have said, hey, you know what? You're getting married to the person I'm telling you. But now we have the advantage that we can marry someone we love, and we can work in a field we love to do, and we don't have to work, let's yeah, like an accountant because my father did it and my grandfather did it. Now I have to work in as accountant because it's like heritage. I have to work in as accountant because it's like heritage. And now you can say, hey, I want to be an artist, so I want to be an artist. Most important is to figure out why don't we talk about someone who died, because that person has a part in our life, in our family system. There's a system, you know, it's like heritage, like we have grandparents, then the parents, then it comes us, and then our children. So there is an heritage which is very important for our healing. For example, our parents, our grandparents, our forefathers are there if we do healing. So it's so important that we heal when we want to heal something, that our roots are strong. So our family is our roots. And so we call them in, we talk to them, but if someone did suicide and we are not acknowledging them, they won't be able to help us. They won't be even there to complete the whole family system. And yes, religion tells us that's shameful, it's a curse, it's bad that someone did suicide in the family. And I'm telling you, no, it's not. Have you ever noticed that people who have issues with dealing with emotions, that maybe their children did suicide, and you know what? It helps the parents. I'm not saying it's a good thing, definitely not, but there's a reason for everything. And there are some souls that come to this planet and they do suicide because it's in their life plan. Because when they die, that's actually when the parents and the family members and people around them, friends, realize, you know what, we have lost someone we really love, and it does affect us, and we do have emotions, we have feelings, we are grieving, and we're allowed to grieve, and we're allowed to cry. And yes, you're allowed to say, I do love this person, and yes, this person died, and it made a huge change in my life because I realized how important it is to be alive, to be happy, to be healthy, and to treasure the people around us, and to make sure that I'm happy and they're happy, and not forcing them to do something they don't want to do. I mean, you know how it feels to try to get some approval of your parents or family members or friends, just that you feel good, but in the end of the day you don't feel good. So people who do suicide, they do it for a reason. As I said, either they're trying to get out of a family system, which is like they're breaking patterns. For example, the one I said, I don't want to follow my father's footsteps. I don't want to get married like a woman. I don't want to get married to a guy who abuses me or who's like really filthy and dirty. And why should I get married to him just to get some money for the family? I forgot the name. And I don't want to live in a place which I'm suffering. I don't want to eat the food, and I'm vegetarian, but some people are vegetarian to please their family members. But if you don't feel like being vegetarian, you should not be vegetarian. So it's all about happiness and peace and freedom. And if we have freedom in our life, we will spread freedom to other people. So I'm telling you, just because church is saying, if a woman does suicide, you're going to burn in hell forever. What hell? The only hell we create is in our mind. The only hell we are creating is because we are believing someone who made up some story to manipulate, to control us. Because you know what? Wisdom gives us freedom. The more you know, the more free you will be, and the less you will be depending on other people. Make sure that whatever another person says, that it's correct for you. If it's not correct for you and doesn't feel right in your heart, don't do it. You have to make some experiences in life and figure out maybe, yeah, that was right what that person said. But then you can truly say from your heart and from your inner being, you know what, I learned it. Yes, maybe I learned it the hard way. But now I understand what it is about to be free and to live a life I want to live. Not following someone blindly. Okay, it's so important. And yes, church is saying you will burn in hell. I'm telling you, you will not burn in hell. I have done 3 years of palliative care, helping in the dying process. I have seen people suffering because, some people say, if you smoke a cigarette, it's a sin. And some people are so scared. Do you know how terrible it is to watch someone who's in a dying process, who's not able to die because they're scared to going to be in hell? None of us is going to be in hell. Of course, there's certain levels, frequencies. We are going to be in that frequent, like a classroom. If you're in the first class, you will study mathematics for the first level. If you're in a second level, in a third level, that's how it works. And if you have the knowledge and wisdom of a third level degree class, you will enter that paradigm, right? We are always coming back. We're going to study, we're going to learn, we're going to make mistakes, and that makes us human. And yes, there are some people, we have events like Allerheiligen and Diwali, and I know all over the world there's so many precious religious traditions to bring light to the dead, so that they actually can get out of the dark and walk into the light because they're trapped on earth, because their belief is they're going to be in hell because they did something which is so natural, which is all human. So please, light a candle for someone who died, who did suicide. Release them, send them free, and tell them that you love them very much, that you forgive them in the name of your family members, and that they're allowed to go home. And I'm telling you, I'm promising you, they will feel this warm feeling. You will feel that warm feeling in your heart, and a smile will come to your face, and you know that person is about to go home to a place where they're loved and they're supposed to be reincarnated. And we also have to understand that if someone does suicide, it's because they're asking and screaming for help. So there must be something wrong, right? And each person, every one of us wants to be loved, wants to have emotions, wants to express themselves, be creative. And it's time, we're in 2018, it's time that we talk about those things. It's time that we help each other, and then we bring awareness to humanity, so that we can support our children, we can support our parents, we can support our friends and our family members to be free, to be happy, and express themselves, to live a life they seriously want to live and be in their own empowerment. Okay? So, suicide is not a happy thing, it's not a happy moment. And yes, we are allowed to grieve, and please grieve. But make sure that you understand what happened and don't feel guilty. It's not your fault that someone dies, because it's their own decision that they did that. But you should understand there is a reason for it in the family, within the social world, that people are doing it. Even people are doing suicide when there's mobbing out there. Why would you mob another person? So that means you have to make sure that you look at your self-esteem. Self-love, self-esteem, self-worth. If people are doing mobbing for you, with you, against someone, that means that person doesn't have the courage to stand up, to show themselves. Be brave, show your light, show the wisdom, the knowledge you got. Don't hide it anymore. And if your own family members won't approve of you, there are people out there, your soul family, they will always support you. There are people and groups on Facebook, on the phone, in the social media, in the social field, which you can go and ask for help. You don't have to suffer, and you don't have to depend on people who are not making you happy and won't let you be free. Okay? Because some people do actually suck energy from you, putting you down, manipulating you, controlling you. And your life force is so important. You have to spread your life force within your body. So I want to do a little exercise. You just close your eyes. Breathe in through your nose into your stomach. The belly has to come out while you breathe in, and breathe out through your mouth. And then you're saying, here I'm calling all my ancestors, I'm calling all the elements, I'm connecting with my heart, with Mother Earth and Father Heaven. And because Mother Earth gave me the authority to heal people, to heal myself, and to release people from pain and suffering, I'm helping all the souls which died and are scared of going to hell, which there is no hell. There's only hell which we are creating in our minds. To release and to let them free, to go home to the places where they are loved and where they belong. A place of love and peace. I'm allowing myself to release all the dead spirits which are coming to me, to be released right now. Thank you. My body belongs to me, and I'm healthy, I'm strong, and I do follow my life path. And when I'm happy, everything comes to me the way it's supposed to come. Luck, abundance, happiness, and health. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yes.